Hunter is now going to the White House meetings. Hunter Biden, you mentioned in passing, Hunter Biden's there now. Hunter Biden, convicted felon. This is what the Democrats like to do. Convicted felon Hunter Biden, drug-addled Hunter Biden, though he's said to be clean at the moment, is going with the president to all of his meetings right now, apparently as like a backup Biden. And this is being defended by people like Mika Brzezinski as like no big deal, but it is a big deal. And there's a real question about whether this is appropriate and why he's there. They're saying, the White House is saying, oh, it's just because it's a holiday week. Well, what does that mean? What is that? It's like bring your son to work day because it's almost July 4th? But why is Hunter Biden, oh, here it is. Take a listen.
Biden has been in some meetings with senior advisors. Why is the president's son involved?
So a couple of things I saw that reporting as I was coming out. So a couple of things there. Look, the president, as you know, is very close to his family. This is a holiday week, 4th of July. He spent time with his family, as you all know, and reported at Camp David. Hunter came back with him and walked with him into that meeting, that speech prep. And he ended up spending time with his dad and his family that night. That is basically what happened. It is a week where there's going to be more family members who are going to come to the White House. I'm sure you'll see some of them on 4th of July. Many more are expected to be here.
No issue with family being in the White House. The question, though, would be, is he participating in meetings with senior advisors?
What I can say is that he came back with his dad from Camp David. He walked him into the speech prep, and he was in the room. That I can tell you, he was in the room.
I don't know about you, MBD, but if we're looking for shadow presidents, Hunter Biden's not on my list.
The one thing Hunter has over his father is that he's a little bit more liberal about gun ownership than most Democrats.
And drugs. The libertarians may like him.
I will say this, the press has moved on. The Hunter Biden story as this kind of saga was in 2019. It was, Hunter Biden is a troubled person, but, he has none of his business dealings have anything to do with the the potential president of the United States, Joe Biden. There's no real connection here at all. The only connection is that Joe Biden loves his son so much. And now it's, Hunter Biden, of course, is just, waltzing into meetings with cabinet officials or other high-level senior staff. Well, why? I mean, the obvious question is why? Is it because the circle has tightened so much? The Biden family doesn't feel that they can trust the White House staff to be on Joe Biden's side in this anymore because of the leaks that have been happening. I mean, over the weekend, right? I mean, the White House itself was putting out stories that looked like defenses, but were really knives in the back, right? They put out a story, Joe Biden is, reliably engaged between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And it's like, okay, on the surface, that sounds like a defense, but actually that's a knife in his back. So someone in the White House said that to Alex Thompson of Axios, and that hurt the president. And then they put out more stories like that. That's almost certainly why Hunter Biden is there, is because he wants his father to remain president and to be elected to another term. He probably wants a pardon. He may want future pardons. I have no idea. He may want, business opportunities again. And he feels that no one else is reliable to protect his father. So he's showing up, and that itself is a scandal. And the reporting on it, again, is a reflection of the media's pile-on to get rid of Joe Biden. Right? It does not make Joe Biden look good that he is relying on his son.
All right, listen, let's get to these polls because, the real question is, as we pointed out, as even the White House reportedly said, if the polls start to go down, even the president will see the truth. He understands that, if they start hemorrhaging polling, both at the White House level, it's going to trickle down. And they could lose the House, they could lose the Senate and the White House to President Trump, which is literally their worst nightmare. Well, reporter over at Puck News got a hold of some internal Democratic polls. Peter Hamby did. It's a confidential polling memo put together by Democratic data firm Open Labs. Their memos are very trusted in Democratic circles and typically passed around to a small group of clients and strategists, so reports Hamby. The memo circulating among anxious Democrats is confirming, quote, some of their worst fears. Biden's diminished standing is now putting previously non-competitive states like New Hampshire, Virginia, and New Mexico in play for Donald Trump. The electoral map, based on Open Labs reporting, would land as follows. Biden with 205 electoral votes, Trump 333. 333. That would be a landslide. Showing that Biden has lost at least 2 points in every single battleground state. New CBS polling puts it at 4 points that Biden has lost to Trump in the wake of this debate. 4 points in every single battleground state. Pennsylvania and Michigan, Biden is now polling behind. This is according to this poll. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Biden behind by 7 points. He's losing Georgia by 10, losing Nevada by 9. He's behind Trump in Virginia, not by much, 0.6%, but behind Trump in Virginia. He's behind Trump in New Mexico, not by much, but behind him in this reliably blue state by 0.5. In New Hampshire, a state that Joe Biden won in 2020 by 7, and in which he had a 10-point lead just a few months ago, just in December, Biden's now down by 2. New Hampshire, a 12-point swing, according to a St. Anselm College poll, actually. He's down there. 12 points now Trump leading in New Hampshire. In New Mexico, which Biden won by 11 points, Joe Biden's now up only 2 points over Trump. Just in June, before the debate, he was up 7 points. As for the possible replacements on the Democratic ticket, Kamala Harris, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, all of them pulled ahead of Joe Biden in every single battleground state. Governor Whitmer of Michigan blows away Trump in her home state. Back in September, Open Labs ran a similar survey and found that all of those Democrats were in the same position as Biden. Now they're ahead of him. This is what's going to do it. This is it. This is the thing. The internal polling that says he can't do it. He's hemorrhaging an MBD. He's going to take others down with him. This July 4th, as we celebrate the birth of our nation, it's important to reflect on the freedoms our forefathers fought for. But today, these freedoms are under attack. Look no further than the treatment of President Trump and the lawfare we're seeing this year. That's why now more than ever, we need organizations that are fighting back. AMAC is the Association of Mature American Citizens, and this is more than just a senior discount organization. AMAC is dedicated to protecting conservative values and defending our rights. Just listen to the way they talk about themselves in this ad copy. They're not afraid. They're ready to fight and to stand up for conservative values, unlike some other senior organizations, okay? You can learn more about how AMAC is actively fighting for your freedom by visiting amac.us/Megyn. By joining AMAC, you're not just becoming a member, you're becoming part of a movement. This July 4th, stand united. Join AMAC today and ensure that your voice is heard. amac.us/MEGYN. Together, Americans can make a difference. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.